Hello everybody, welcome to the Scientist Room. Today we are taking a look at Riffer from Audio Modern. And at the moment there's a couple of SynthMaster 2s. Now I'm going to set up a fresh session in a sec. I'm going to delete these and show you how to set this up. But we're going to use 4 SynthMaster 2s and 1 Riffer playing different things. So you have 4 channels in Riffer that you can use. And these 4 channels by default are mapped to MIDI channels 1 through 4. You can of course change this if you want to, but we'll leave it the same because it's easy. I just want to, the kind of cool thing you can do is this. And of course, each one of these riffers is kind of independent of each other. So it's like having 4 riffers in one riffer, if you know what I mean. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to set this up as it is. So to get started, best thing to do would be just to, I'll delete everything. I'll remove this channel and I'll remove this channel. And we'll remove this channel and we'll just set it up. Again, it's really easy to set up, but you can get some really nice results. And of course, May the 27th is World Drone Day, so that's coming around pretty quick. So that's cool beans as well. Okay, so first of all, let's do MIDI and let's add 4 audio tracks. Now, there's a lot we can do here. What we'll do is, first of all, we'll just set up the, we'll set it up. So it's very easy to set up. So you've added 1 MIDI, 4 input, 4 channels, you know, 4 audio channels. And we'll do this. We'll go audio unit MIDI processor and we will go Riffer. And then we shall, of course, audio unit extension, SynthMaster 2 and SynthMaster 2, SynthMaster 2. And that's right, you've guessed it, SynthMaster 2. Because we can find lots of cool sounds we can use. Now, at this point, we need to send everything everywhere and set everything up. So the easiest way to do is the little toaster icon here. We open this and we'll just select none where it says channel filter and select channel 1. And again, we'll do this. We'll just select none and then reselect channel 2. Then reselect, there we go, none, and select channel 3, of course. And last but not least, we'll do the same with number 4. We shall go none, 4, and that's done. So that's our routing. Now we need to turn our volumes down because at the moment, all these SynthMasters will be on their default patch and we don't want that. In fact, actually, I've got my little MIDI keyboard hooked up just in case I need it, but I don't need it at the moment. So I'm just going to move it out my way so I can see what's going on. Won't make any difference to you, of course. Right, so first of all, we need to go into Riffer. Okay, so we open this and Riffer outputs, okay? We're going to go SynthMaster, 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 and SynthMaster. That's easy. Now Riffer is connected to all these SynthMasters, okay? And also, it's also this easy because Riffer 1, Riffer 2, Riffer 3 and Riffer 4. Now, at the moment, they're all on C minor, which is fine. We're going to leave them all on C minor. Otherwise, I am changing the key and everything for each of the riffers. So that's not a problem. If you want it in whatever key you want, say you wanted A, and then you wanted to go to A minor, I don't know, whatever you want. You've got to change them all. So we could actually just go to R2. You see it jumps back to C. And then we'll go to R3. And that will, again, jump back to C and R4. Now, we could use C major or A minor. It doesn't really matter. They're relative. And all the rest of this stuff is set exactly the same, you'll see. So we can leave this one on 1/16. Again, we can put this on maybe 1/8. And then we can use this one, we can go 1/4. And on the 4th one, we could maybe go, we could go half, maybe have a really slow kind of, just a pulsing bass note. Now, another thing to do, now you need to start to populate this. So just hit your dice. And again, you can hit the dice, again, the dice, and again, the dice. Now, of course, we've set different revolutions for each of these, so each are going to move, all right? The density option here, right, if we go to density, you'll see that there are some density options already set for these different channels. We look at density on this one, you see. At the moment, we can reset the density there on each of these. Let's do this. So we're not getting density is what happens. You'll just get a ratcheting effect sort of thing. If we go to density again down here, reselect, go back to 1. We can go back to pitch as well for each of these for now. But once you've got this all set up, and it's good to see, it's going to sound really great. Now, the next thing to do, of course, is to choose a sound. Now, I don't want, everything's going to be in Berlin School, and that's an arpeggiator. So I don't want an arpeggiator in any of these. So I'm going to basically browse for some sounds, maybe choose some flute. I'll maybe, that Rydeen lead I know is really nice. So I'm going to choose that for channel 1. And you'll notice that the tempo is set quite quietly as well. Now, if I press play and bring up channel, you'll see they're all playing, but they're all going to, these three are going to be playing that Berlin harp, but this one is going to be playing our Rydeen lead. So now we can try and find something for number 2. Go down to, it's nice. And now they will very nice. So this one, of course, so we'll choose a bass one for this, right? Okay, let's open this out. So a lot of these are harps. They do work, but not so good as. So for instance, that bass sub, right? Let's go into our Riffer here. We know this is number 4, you can see. I think that's an harp. No, it's not actually, it's Riffer number 3, isn't it? Here we go. Right, so we can then take this down an octave here, which is going to be better for our bass, of course, in this one. Great, like that one. So this is going to add some bottom end. Very cool. Now, just our last one to be worrying about now. So what could this be? Maybe this is running very slow. We don't want an harp. It's running like an arpeggio at the moment, so really nice. Very cool. So next we could add, let's add in AudioScope, and then we can mix this thing. And in fact, actually, before we add in AudioScope, I am going to put in some drums, and I think I will use NOIR. Okay, and I in fact 2 NOIRs I'm going to put in, because one of them is going to be for hi-hats and one of them is going to be for kick drums. So just for a moment, we'll just move this. I'll do it with my hands, easier. I'm just going to turn the volumes down of all of these, and we'll set NOIR up, because as soon as I start to run, NOIR is going to be playing. So we'll start with a basic kick. So let's play. Let's put a limiter on that. This one I'm going to put on the hats. So again, factory patches. Nice. I know what I'll put on there, dub delay. Solo that. Okay, so like I said, let's to see my mic, we'll put some what we'll do, I'll stop that a sec, actually, and just turn it down. In fact, I'll stop it, because for this we'll set them all back to this point, because now when we add in audio share, when we add in AudioScope, AudioScope, we want our relative volumes to be all the same on the channel strips in AUM. So if we go in here, audio unit extension and AudioScope, and I'm going to set this, and you don't have to do this, but it just makes more sense. We'll just go with this with post fader like this. We'll add in AudioScope. Now, I don't know why this is, but Paul suggested that this is probably better. So I'm going to do, again, AudioScope. And this is why AudioScope is so blinking great. And we can do both here at this audio unit extension, AudioScope, and double click on there to add another node. Oh, hang on a minute. AudioScope. And then we'll also do this post fader like this, because we still want the boost for the and the limiting of course. And last but not least, we shall add in AudioScope here. Set this post. Now, what we need to do, of course, is go into AudioScope and start adding these channels in. So we'll open our initial AudioScope here. And for, like I usually do, I'm going into settings and going to live mix options. And I'm just going to, where it says graph dB range, I'm just going to extend. Oh, now that's weird, because that has not extended my, maybe I need to choose one first. Let's choose this and go mix. Possible. Why is this? I'm going to set these like this. I'm not sure why. Let's just do that. Go to mix. Here we go. AudioScope 1. Right, that's fine. Let's do this. Let's call this. We'll just go for the SynthMasters. We'll just go. It doesn't. Do you know what? It really doesn't matter, does it, with these? Because I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I just do the 5 and 6s, which are the noirs. So 5, I'll call noir. And we'll just set that, and I will boing, hold that in. Just stick it there for now. And for number 6, I'll just set this in. I'll call this noir 2. Noir 2. Okay. The other 4 I know are the SynthMaster, so there's no real need to rename them. But I will add them now. So number 2 here, of course, then hold mix, and it will appear there. Then, of course, we'll do number 3 and hold mix, and it will appear. And again, for number 4, we'll hold mix, and it will appear. Now, let's take these down quite low before we start mixing them in. Hope you were all well, by the way. If you're watching this video premiere, welcome. Now I'm just going to reset my mixes here. There you go, done deal. If we play now, there you go, that's perfect. So we can go into our AudioScope now, any of them, and choose which we want first. So if it was the hi-hats, for example, and we can start building our snapshots as well, which is quite nice. I do love AudioScope, I really do. So snapshots here, snapshot 1. Let's have the transition time between these faster than I did the other day. So I 10 seconds, but let's have it just like for 1 second, and we'll see some quick responses when we change snapshots. Also, now let's bring in call that snapshot 2. It's real fast. Okay, let's try this now. Now, SynthMaster 4 now. go into NOIR 2, which is the hi-hats. And let's go into our EQ for that. Take a bit of the mids out. Won't really hear that. Awesome. And then with this, I think I'm going to make a little bit of EQ adjustment here. Oh yeah, it brings that kind of plinky vibraphone. Call this Snapshot 3. Such a fun way to mix this is. Okay, so we've got really fast transitions now. Now you can have these transitions instant as well if you want to. Nice. Now, let's set up another one, which is so I'll set this up as number 7 just so I can do a few more bits and pieces. So we can leave that raw for a moment. If we go into Riffer now, we can, if we want to change the key of everything, right, we can, if we select all and we change, everything changes, but you have to have all selected, of course, and this will change whatever you change for the things, you know, it will randomize, like randomize all of them, I guess. Okay, so we'll mess with this. And now also, if we look at our infinity control and we set that to 4, every 4 times it passes round all of them, it will randomize. Okay, so we can switch all off now, because sometimes you don't want to make adjustments to every single thing at the same time, you know. Like for instance, number 1 here, which is running at 1/6. I think this maybe, I wonder what it sounded like at 1/8 triplet. Pretty good, actually. We'll leave it at that. So let's open our AudioScope up again and nice. This one's overloading a little bit. No big deal though. Change the sounds out as well, of course. This might get some good results. Number 4 there. We'll put a cascade on here. I'm going to do some more adjustment on NOIR 2 here. guys, there you go. I don't want to go on any longer. You kind of get the idea. And of course, you could add another Riffer and have another completely for independent tracks that you could play with, or of course use other MIDI sequences and stuff. AudioScope is marvelous for stuff like, of course, you could put Molly Looper in there as well somewhere and just do some cool stuff with that. I think it's a great time for iOS. I do. I think marvelous. So yeah, Riffer doing its thing, and it will swap every 4 times this rotates. Just wondering if I've got it set on to do this for all, because that might be more interesting. In fact, let's set this for 2 times. See what happens. Yeah. So everything is now going to change every 2 passes. Marvelous. So you get a constantly varying set of patterns and sequences that's just going to continually evolve, which is lovely. All right, guys, listen, I'll play with it for a couple of more minutes while you say ta-ra. Sort of bless you all. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you all later. Ta-ra.